Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling one of the most confusing questions in the dating and relationship world. Does she actually like you? Or is she just being nice? This is an age-old dilemma that can lead to a whole lot of overthinking, mixed signals, and sometimes heartbreak if you guess wrong. We've all been there, right? You meet someone new or you've known her for a while. She smiles at you, laughs at your jokes, maybe messages you a bit, but you're wondering, is this genuine interest, or is she simply polite and friendly? Truth be told, it can be tricky to figure out. People have different personalities. Some folks are naturally warm and treat everyone kindly, which can make interpreting their behavior a challenge. Meanwhile, others might be more reserved but show subtle signs of genuine interest that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. So, how do you sort it all out? In this video, I'll walk you through 10 key indicators that can help you see the bigger picture, whether this might be something more than platonic or if you're reading too much into basic courtesy. We'll cover body language cues, conversation patterns, the difference between polite compliments versus meaningful praise, and how context matters in big ways. By the end, you'll have a much clearer sense of how to determine if she's actually into you or if she's just being friendly. And remember, no single sign is absolute proof. It's all about looking at the combination and the consistency of her actions. Plus, it's crucial to respect boundaries and approach any romantic possibility with empathy and honesty. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Does she like you? Or is she just being nice? Let's find out. Section 1: Basics of Friendliness versus Attraction. Before we dive into specific signs, let's lay a foundation. Friendliness and romantic/attraction signals can overlap, which is why so many people get confused. Some folks are just open, warm, and curious about everyone they meet. They ask questions, they smile, they give compliments. That doesn't necessarily mean they have a romantic interest. On the other hand, someone who's a bit shy or reserved might come across as merely polite, when actually they're harboring a crush. So, context is everything. A confident, outgoing person's normal might look flirty to someone who's less extroverted. Meanwhile, a more introverted person could be screaming interest in the subtlest ways. Here's where context plays a huge role. Group versus one-on-one. A lot of individuals, especially extroverts, tend to be inclusive, encouraging, and full of compliments when in group settings. But is her behavior consistent when it's just the two of you? If she's even warmer, more attentive, or more personal in a one-on-one scenario, that's a clue it's more than niceness. Her usual personality. If you know she's super bubbly with literally everyone, then the same treatment extended to you might not be special. However, if she's generally more reserved but makes a clear effort with you, that can be a sign something's brewing. Cultural or social norms. In some cultures or social circles, hugging, small gifts, or certain phrases are common courtesy and not necessarily romantic. So, always consider the cultural or personal background that might shape her behavior. Understanding these basics can help you avoid misinterpreting or missing actual cues. Next, we'll delve into more specific signals, things that, when viewed together, can help you determine if she's just a friendly soul, or if she's hoping for something more. Section 2, Sign number 1. She remembers unusual details about you. One subtle sign of genuine interest is when she recalls small details you've shared, particularly the ones that aren't super obvious or memorable to most people. Let's say, in passing, you mentioned your favorite obscure band, your grandmother's birthday, or how you have a big meeting next Tuesday. If she circles back days, or weeks, later and asks, "Hey, How did that meeting go? Or I heard that band you told me about, they're pretty cool. That's an indicator she's genuinely tuned in. Why is this important? Well, a friendly person might remember big, obvious things, like your birthday if you celebrated it in front of them, or your major if you're in school. But recalling smaller, less public details suggests she's paying attention to you specifically. She might even have made a mental note or jotted it down so she wouldn't forget. People rarely do that if they're just being nice with no personal interest. Also, check out if she uses this information to keep conversations going. For instance, she might text you on the day of that important meeting, "Good luck today. You'll do great." That shows she's actively thinking about you at a time you didn't expect. Or she might spontaneously send you a link to a new track from that obscure band you mentioned. These are all little threads that mean, I care about your world, and I want to stay connected to it. Of course, some folks have excellent memories and do this for everyone, so consider if you see a pattern. Is she just as attentive to your friends, or is her special brand of memory mostly directed at you? If it's primarily you, that's a sign your interactions hold more weight in her mind. And that, my friend, goes beyond mere courtesy. Section 3, sign number 2, her body language focuses on you. Body language can be a massive giveaway, even when words remain ambiguous. A warm, friendly person might make eye contact, smile, or face you in conversation simply because that's polite. But there's a difference between casual politeness and more pointed body language that indicates deeper interest. Again, we're not talking about a quick handshake or a polite pat on the arm. We're talking about repeated, intentional closeness. If she's shifting her entire body toward you and making comfortable, casual physical contact, she likely wants you to feel special. However, remember that personal comfort zones vary. Some people are naturally more tactile. So, look for patterns. Does she do this with everyone or just with you? If you're singled out for that kind of closeness, she might be trying to give you a little hint that says, "I'm interested." Section 4, sign number 3, she asks personal questions, and listens intently. Is she asking you about your dreams, your fears, your childhood memories, stuff that goes beyond surface-level chatter? That can be a huge clue. While friendly small talk usually sticks to safe topics, like the weather, common interests, or the local sports team, someone who's genuinely intrigued by you will often steer the conversation into more meaningful territory. For instance, if she says, "How do you feel about your upcoming job change?" That must be nerve-wracking, instead of just "cool, you're switching jobs." That's nice, it indicates deeper interest. She's not only acknowledging the fact, but she's showing empathy for how it impacts you emotionally. She might follow up with more queries, like, what made you decide to pursue that line of work? Or was there a particular moment in your life that shaped you? Additionally, it's about how she listens to your responses. Is she scrolling on her phone or looking around the room while you talk? That might be mere politeness, or even disinterest. But if she's nodding, maintaining eye contact, asking clarifying questions, or referencing your previous statements, like, "Earlier, you mentioned you used to love painting. Are you still doing that?" She's showing a level of engagement that's more than superficial courtesy. Another subtle tip, watch how she reacts if you share something personal or vulnerable. Does she show genuine concern or excitement, depending on what you reveal? Does she reassure you, or does she keep the conversation going to learn more about your perspective? A friendly person might do that once, but if it becomes consistent, like she's truly invested in your world, chances are, it's not just niceness. Section 5, sign number 4, she frequently initiates contact or plans. When someone is merely polite, they'll often respond kindly when approached, but they may not go out of their way to initiate interaction. So if she's frequently the one to text first, to say hey, are you free this weekend? Or to ask if you want to grab coffee, that's a strong indicator she's looking for more than casual courtesy. Examples. She sends a spontaneous message, I saw something funny and it reminded me of you. She calls to chat about random topics, not just practical or group-related matters. She proposes specific outings, we should really check out that new cafe. She touches base about your day, asking questions like, how did your meeting go? Or feeling better today? Typically, a purely friendly, non-romantic dynamic might see each person initiating from time to time, but it's balanced with a sense of group context or casual approach. When she's repeatedly the one to reach out first, especially for one-on-one hangouts, it suggests she's prioritizing time with you specifically. Also consider how promptly she replies. Is she quick to respond, or does she compose more thoughtful, lengthy texts? Maybe she sends voice notes or fun memes just to brighten your day. Those little signs of consistent engagement can signal that you're occupying her thoughts beyond a surface level. One cautionary note, some people are just extremely social or extroverted, and they set up plans with all sorts of friends. So again, context. Does she single you out compared to how she treats her wider circle? If the answer is yes, and if she's often seeking alone time rather than group gatherings, she might be hoping you'll catch on that her efforts to connect are driven by more than mere niceness. Section 6, sign number 5, she teases or flirts, differently than with others. Some women, and men, are naturally playful or tease a bit with everyone around them. That's just how they socialize. But if her jokes, teasing, or flirtation feel more personal or more frequent when directed at you, that's a clue. She might poke fun at you in a way that's endearing rather than insulting. She might give you a playful nickname or reference an inside joke only the two of you share. A big sign is if she invests time or creativity into this playful banter, like crafting unique quips, memes, or silly references about something you said last week. Or if she occasionally throws a little mock compliment like, oh sure, Mr. Perfection, guess we'll do it your way, but with a smile that says, I actually respect you a lot. Flirtation can also take the form of light physical affection, like a gentle push on your arm when you banter, or a playful nudge in a line. People generally reserve that for relationships they're comfortable with and want to deepen. Consider how she teases others. If she flirts with everyone in your circle, lots of inside jokes or playful ribbing with multiple people, then maybe that's just her style. But if it's mostly you who receives this kind of banter, it's likely she's signaling a special connection. The difference can be subtle, but you'll often sense that her energy is especially directed at you. Additionally, watch her reaction if you flirt back. Does she become flustered, grin widely, or continue the playful exchange? If she's encouraging your flirting rather than brushing it off, that's a strong sign she likes the dynamic. Her smiling acceptance is often code for, I'm into this, don't stop. Section 7, sign number 6, she shows a touch of jealousy or protectiveness. Jealousy doesn't always manifest as drama or confrontation, sometimes it appears in small, telling moments. For example, if she notices you chatting with another woman and becomes noticeably quieter, changes demeanor, or asks probing questions like, so, who was that you were talking to? With a hint of curiosity or concern, it might suggest she's invested in you beyond friendly interest. Or, if she tries to steer you away from certain topics about your romantic life, like if you mention a dating app or a new crush, and she quickly changes the subject or shows subtle discomfort, that can be a sign. A purely friendly person might say, "Cool. What's she like?" and be genuinely supportive. But someone who likes you might feel a pang of jealousy they can't fully hide. Another angle is protectiveness. Maybe she notices you're stressed or upset, and she immediately jumps in with help, comfort, or advice in a way that's unusually attentive. While friends can be supportive, there's often an extra layer of intensity if she has romantic feelings, like texting you multiple times to see if you're okay, or bringing you soup when you're sick. Of course, some people are nurturing by nature. So if she does this for literally everyone, it might just be her big heart. But if you're the only one getting that level of concern, that's more than just being nice. That's a sign of emotional investment. Pay close attention, though. Jealousy can be unhealthy if it's too intense or controlling. We're talking about mild, subtle signs that show she's worried about losing your attention, not extreme behavior. If her response crosses into demanding or disrespectful territory, that's a separate issue. But a little, who's that person you're with?" combined with a hopeful expression might be her quiet confession that she wants your focus on her. Section 8, sign number 7. She compliments your character, not just your looks. Everyone appreciates a compliment like, "You look nice today." But when a woman likes you, she may go beyond surface compliments and praise deeper aspects of who you are, your personality, your sense of humor, your compassion, or your dedication to a hobby or career. For instance, she might say, "I really admire how patient you are with people," or "It's so cool how you always stay positive, even under stress." While friendly folks might acknowledge these traits in passing, someone who genuinely admires you is more likely to emphasize them, mention them multiple times, or reference specific situations where you demonstrated them. She may even compare you favorably to others, as in, "I wish more people had your level of kindness." Moreover, observe if she points out how you make her feel, like, "I feel so comfortable talking to you," or "You always make my day better." That's personal and reveals that your presence has an impact on her emotional state. It's a clue she values not just your presence but your inner qualities. Interestingly, praising your character can sometimes mean more than praising your looks. Physical compliments are fairly common in polite or friendly interactions, but character-based praise suggests she's noticing the core of who you are. That deeper appreciation is a hallmark of potential romantic inclination. Again, watch the frequency. Does she keep coming back to it? Does she tell you stories of how she told a friend or family member, "He's such a genuine person"? If so, that's reinforcing how much she respects and likes these traits. Plain niceness might garner a one-off compliment, but repeated emphasis on your virtues could be her way of saying, "I see you as someone truly special." Section 9, sign number 8, she's willing to be vulnerable or emotionally open. Another big difference between just being nice and having deeper interest is the willingness to share personal or vulnerable sides of herself. Someone who's purely polite may stick to safe, surface-level topics. But if she confides in you, talking about her fears, her personal dreams, or a difficult family situation, she's opening up a more intimate side. These candid conversations often happen one-on-one or in quieter moments. She might say something like, "I've never told many people this, but," or "It's been on my mind lately, and I feel comfortable talking to you about it." This level of trust strongly indicates she sees you as more than just a casual friend or acquaintance. She values your support or your perspective in a way she might not for others. Pay attention to how she reacts if you reciprocate with your own vulnerability. Does she lean in, actively empathize, and maybe share even more in return? That mutual openness can signal a deepening bond that goes well beyond simple kindness. Also note if she seeks emotional support from you specifically rather than from her other friends. Maybe she texts you late at night about something that's bothering her, or asks for your advice on a sensitive topic. Those acts suggest she perceives you as a safe haven, a potential partner in emotional understanding. Lastly, watch for follow-up. If she circles back to check if you're okay after you had a rough day, like sending a heartfelt message, "Hey, I was thinking about you, hope you're doing better," it shows she's invested in your emotional well-being, not out of mere politeness, but because your feelings matter deeply to her. Section 10, sign number 9, she drops hints about spending time together, alone. We touched earlier on initiating plans, but let's refine it. If she's consistently hinting or outright stating that she'd love to see you in a more private context rather than always in groups, that's a strong indicator. Sure, a friendly person can want to hang out, but they might lean toward inviting a bunch of people or prefer casual group settings. If she says things like, "We should totally watch that new movie, just us," or "There's this restaurant I've been dying to try, want to go together," in a personal way, she's aiming for a one-on-one connection. She might bring it up multiple times or mention how she has tickets to an event and really wants you to come along. Key questions. Does she specify just you two? Does she show eagerness or excitement if you agree? Does she follow up to confirm or pin down a date/time? Because if she's simply polite, she might say, "Yeah, let's do something sometime," but never follow through or mention it again. However, if she's genuinely interested, she might text you about it the next day. "So, about that movie, when are you free?" That's forward momentum. Additionally, see how she responds if you propose something that could be more date-like. Maybe you say, "I heard about this cool art exhibit, should we go check it out on Saturday?" If she lights up, quickly says yes, and starts making actual plans, that's a strong sign she wants that time with you, specifically. In the end, the difference between friendly interest in a group hangout and wanting one-on-one experiences can be a huge dividing line between she's just being nice and she's interested in a deeper connection. Don't ignore repeated attempts or suggestions that encourage you to do something together, independently of others. Host, warm tone. And there we have it, 9 key signs that can help you figure out if she's genuinely into you or just showing that friendly politeness. Let's do a quick recap. She remembers unusual details. If she's referencing small things you said or did, that goes beyond courtesy. Her body language focuses on you, leaning in, lingering eye contact, and mirroring your gestures can be telling. She asks personal questions, and really listens. Genuine curiosity about your inner world suggests more than politeness. She frequently initiates contact/plans, a sure sign she enjoys your company enough to make the first move. She teases or flirts differently than with others. Personalized banter or inside jokes often point to romantic interest. She shows a touch of jealousy/protectiveness. Mild signs of unease or concern when you're with someone else can reveal deeper feelings. She compliments your character, emphasizing your personality or values indicates admiration on a deeper level. She's willing to be vulnerable or emotionally open. Sharing personal stories or confiding in you is rarely just nice. She drops hints about spending time together, alone. Repeated efforts for one-on-one hangouts is a strong indicator of interest. However, it's important to note that no single sign on this list is guaranteed proof. People are complex, and a woman might exhibit some of these behaviors simply because she's genuinely kind, or because she has a big heart that embraces everyone. That's why context and consistency matter so much. Context: is she like this with everybody, or are you the only one seeing these signals? If she's leaning in and asking personal questions to all her acquaintances, it might be her normal style. But if it's unique to you, that's a different story. Consistency: does she regularly go out of her way to connect? Is she always quick to respond, frequently referencing past conversations, or bringing you up to her friends? An occasional friendly gesture could be a fluke, but a pattern suggests stronger feelings. Finally, what do you do if you suspect she truly likes you? Approach with respect, don't assume or demand a confession. Start with small steps, maybe reciprocate her interest by asking her out for coffee. Be honest, if you're interested too, show it. Return those compliments, invite her for a one-on-one hangout, and see how she responds. Clear communication: if the vibe is there, gently mention how you feel. Something like, "I really enjoy spending time with you, would you want to go on a proper date sometime?" can open the door to clarity. Respect boundaries: if it turns out she's just friendly and not romantically inclined, handle it gracefully. Friendships can still be valuable, and a mature response can preserve a good connection without awkwardness. At the end of the day, understanding these signs isn't about trickery or mind games, it's about being more observant and empathetic. If you pick up on consistent signals that she likes you, you can move forward with confidence. If you realize it's all just kindness, you can adjust your expectations and still appreciate her positive nature without pining for something that isn't there. Host, smiling. I hope this helps you better navigate the sometimes blurry line between nice and into you. Have you ever been in a situation where you were completely unsure if a girl liked you or was just friendly? Let us know your experience in the comments below. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And if you enjoyed this or found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the best way to know is to take a respectful step forward and see if she meets you halfway. Good luck out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.